There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find the way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Globe.
Psychologist, relationship coach, the one, the only
Benjamin Zulu.
Benjamin Zulu himself. It's evident that today most marriages are not legal. Most people are settling or living together without making their marriages legal. Why is it that people want it easier? But did you know there are disadvantages to this? What are the disadvantages of living with a person you're not married to? That's the question we have today, and we will have the answers to this right away. Welcome to Benjamin Zulu Global Show. My name is Sylvia Kiremi. Stay tuned in so we can learn together. Yes.
Yes, and whenever I talk about legal, people usually will start to think about, oh, at least we reported home, at least we have a plan for visiting next year,
Yes.
At least there's this, we are on course. You know, we are working on it.
Yeah.
It's just taking a while. Mm-hmm. People don't think in the right way about when you discuss formal marriage. We are not discussing how you are living with this person. We're talking about how you are living in the reverse order. You are choosing a person, then learning them later. When you should have learned them, then choose.
Oh, okay.
So, marrying legally versus marrying in a staccato way. Live here, get a child, get sex, cross, then
go home later.
Reverses the order of selection. What we are discussing here is the criteria for entering the marriage season.
Yeah.
Cohabitation is like brokerage. You met a broker along the way before you met the market and started trading with them. You did not really get to the market, then you try to move with the market, to the market with them. You know, somebody you came with from the road. Then you're telling us we're in the process of getting to the market, but you're already, sold out.
Yeah.
So what we're discussing today is not just that you're obeying the rules of society by getting a marriage certificate. No, it's about the standard you're setting for yourself and how this helps you in getting what you want. If at all you want marriage and permanence and longevity, there are some things that go with it. You're free to choose what you want in life, but you're not free to choose the consequences of the choice.
Yeah.
It comes attached.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
This girl was going all out saying, if you want to date me, I don't want a man with a child. I cannot tolerate that because I already have 5 children. I don't want any more. I can't be a mother of 5, 6, 8 children. I already have 5. And then she's trying to set some funny rules there when she does not have what it takes for that kind of a man to also choose her. Yeah. You know? The selection process we are discussing today is, if at all you wanted permanence and marriage and longevity, there's a procedure to it. And the first rule I just want you to know is that you cannot have your cake and eat it. It cannot be so easy to stagger into a good marriage. That common sense should first of all jolt you back to senses. It cannot be that you can just meet, moving, and then you're building a good marriage.
No, it can't be like that.
No.
It's not that easy.
No, my friend. I don't know why we like being so illogical. You don't understand life?
Most of us don't.
No. You cannot have your cake and eat it.
And still have it.
No. You not eat it and it still remains there.
Yes.
You want to have either. There's usually a bitter root for a sweet fruit. Remember, that is the law of life. There must always be a bitter root
for sweet fruit.
Yes.
Okay.
You cannot enjoy both the root
and the fruit at the same time.
No.
Yes.
The foundation for lasting marriage requires discipline, delayed gratification, self-control, and comfortable boundaries. Okay?
Yeah.
And I just want you to know, because we have not been taught how to read in Africa. Thank God for podcasts. Yeah. They have removed the necessity for so much reading. You still need to read, but at least when you listen to this kind of things,
you learn something.
You are learning, even if there's so much culture of reading.
Yes.
But I just want you to know that there are some laws of life that cut across. They just cut across. That the law of sowing and reaping, that is just universal. Yeah. You sow carelessness. You sow emotional things. You sow. What you're putting to the ground is what you get out of the ground. Yeah. And many people are putting to the ground what? Nonsensical way of thinking. This girl explained how she has staggered into completely destroying her personal life. By explaining I had this boyfriend in high school, we did not do anything serious, we did not have sex, but it was just those, emotional. Now she's trying to trivialize it. But listen to what follows after that.
Yeah.
But when I visited him, his mother rejected me. And the mother did not want me for some reasons. The guy was so heartbroken, he went into alcoholism. When they're only teenagers.
Yeah.
The mother has refused my love. We lost touch. I went on another life. He went another life, married a person. They got children. They divorced. I went out there, also married. Funny way, it didn't work. We are meeting later. I have a career. I'm moving on. He's still at home with children there, being taken care of by parents. He's in his 40s. You see, we are talking about 30 years later.
Yeah.
You thought I'm talking about a short time.
Yes.
I want you to know how this goes, so that when I talk about the entry point, you don't think it's a casual thing. The entry behavior, how you enter this season and how it ripples.
Yeah.
And she's asking, now we hook up, I go there, he shows me the photos of our teenager he's still keeping, and he was hoping we hook up, and later we are feeling all this reconnection. And the man is just at home. But she cannot see that he is stranded and stuck in space.
Yeah.
And she thinks, because the mother cannot allow him to just marry me, she will still interfere. We think he still kick us away. We're thinking of eloping, sneaking in together. By the time the mother knows, we have already... Are you still teenagers? Are you still teenagers?
I'm imagining
in
this.
your 40s.
Yeah.
There's still a mother in the picture. This man has never outgrown his parents.
Yes.
Oh, he has inherited 5 acres from his parents. We're hoping we'll build there. The man has no achievement of his own. He's still into alcohol.
Still talking about the
Still
mother.
about the mother. How old is the mother now? If he's
70.
I mean. So, I wanted to show you that these people are still now sleeping together, living together here, and hiding. They're replaying the games they played at 17.
Yeah.
30 years down the line. You thought it's a small thing how you enter this season. It ripples and it can entirely swallow your life.
Wow.
This woman has no criteria of evaluating a quality man because she has never allowed herself to be a woman, to learn quality of life, to decide some things about herself. That's why as a general self-preservation, I don't discuss teenage madness. I don't discuss it. If you're that careless, I don't involve myself. If you can be that careless.
Yeah.
Any behavior under 25 where you're just throwing your life out there to the dogs, we can handle it only after you pay full price.
Yeah.
The doctor can treat you for anything as long as you pay.
You pay.
The doctor will not start some TikTokers swallowing spiders to get attention.
Then go to the doctor.
My friend, pay.
Yes.
For
the carelessness.
People are swallowing spiders for content. They are doing things that are sensational. You totally ignore your life. So this lady is still fleeting between low quality men, doesn't even know character judgment, does not know what life is about. And it's midlife. And the time is going. You have children now. You have people following your lead. And just like that, you may never wake up when you stagger into these things carelessly. So entry dictates the tempo.
Yeah.
Beginnings dictate the pace. Endings dictate the legacy. You seal the legacy. The way you enter sets the pace. The way you leave sets the legacy. What hangs in the space, what you leave. Our children will be our legacy. We tend to brag with our jobs. We tend to really brag with our names and our titles. We will have 2 legacies that we must always remember. The children you are raising and the impact you're doing in your generation, the service you give to your humanity. The people you raise, what children will carry your flag. Our mother used to be called Sylvia, our grandmother, our great-grandma.
Yeah.
We used to hear she was this great woman doing this and that. They will carry that. Or the people will say that lady who used to serve us, the same way we have seen people like Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela, how they have served their generation, their countries. That's what we're doing. We have those 2 legacies. People tend to forget that the little people at home will be the people like us tomorrow.
Yes.
Those tiny people crawling over there, running after you. And you have to sneak away to hide from.
Yes.
When you're going to work and they should not see you lest they'll cause chaos. They'll be us tomorrow. They'll be talking how they used to see you. What was happening?
Yes.
Always imagining the stories they'll tell about you, and it will change how you treat them.
True.
Because they will tell their stories.
Yes.
And you will be the background of the story. You know? Just to tell you that how we enter the stories we create there, somebody else is forming their world over that. But if you don't awaken, you will have to regret it. The first thing why it's works against you to live with a person you're not married to. And remember, the marriage here is legally with a paper, not eventually as we live together.
As most of us are doing.
No.
Yeah.
That method interferes with how you pick.
True.
How you pick. So the first cost is that you end up paying the price of marriage without getting the benefits of marriage. Marriage requires a healthy marriage gives you a person who has your back, gives you a social standing, gives you an increasing growth as the time goes by. You are getting a person who understands you more, you're getting to build life together. Genuine marriage increases you as time goes because a person is investing in you and you are investing in them. It's only in marriage where you have a person whom you can count on throughout at any season. A healthy marriage gives you one person who has your back, who knows when you're up and when you're down.
Yes.
Who, when you go to the valley of battles, they can do what Moses did, went to the mountains of prayer to back you up morally, emotionally. That's the marriage. It's only marriage where you have a person. When it's a healthy marriage, they can be a spokesperson, defend you, represent you, speak for you.
Yeah.
But when it's not a legal marriage, you are limited in how much you can expect. They have not signed up.
Yeah.
Okay? We tend to imagine because we have told each other verbal words. And so let me now shock you what other reasons why people may live with you. And they're not legally married. Because you're very beneficial to them. Sometimes people marry you for your resourcefulness. Not marrying you, living with you for resourcefulness.
Yes.
And they're even surprised that you are so resourceful and so naive. You can accept to be used for nothing.
Yeah.
The doors to remain open while you are trusting them for a future that they'll keep their word. When you're actually helping them and passing time, missing out the train of time. When they otherwise would, you're not enough for them. They don't feel you that way. They don't want to spend their life with you like that.
Yeah.
You are not exactly what sometimes people are not sure what they want. They just know it's not you.
Yes.
But you're the one who's available.
Yeah.
You are better than nothing. Remember, when you are resourceful, it's better to be with you than to be with no one.
Yes.
You buffet them. You hold them. And let me also remind women who keep saying, hey, we always meet. We get intimate. He tells me I'm special. For a man to sleep with you means nothing. Men sleep with animals. Men sleep with lotion. Men sleep with soap.
And now you're there.
A lot of men,
free.
To have sex or to pee is very similar. It's a relief. It's written on the roads, Kojo yap.
Yes.
Kojo cut. I mean, why are you viewing these things as though they were special?
Oh my goodness.
I have seen women deluded.
Yeah.
Deluded. We always cast. Once you have free sex for a man and he's living in a desert where nobody can give a body to him like that, he will keep coming.
Yes.
Surely, you are better than him having to sleep with a mattress. Men sleep with the mattresses. Huh.
Oh.
I can't believe that women think they're special for man sleeping with them. I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Yes.
I done mad. Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Can you even read the Bible and find a guy who slept with a woman whose face he does not know? He was told later that your daughter-in-law is pregnant. She said she should be killed. She fornicated. The daughter-in-law said, okay, check whose idea is this? The man had slept with the daughter-in-law because she had warned. Men don't need to know your face to sleep with you. He conceived twins with a woman whose face he does not know.
Yes.
Now you think you're special. This guy borrowed the services of a prostitute. He did not even have money.
Yeah.
He left a guarantee. The guarantee left was his identity documents. I mean, don't you see that there's nothing special?
Yes.
You are the one who makes sex special. You. It's not the man.
Okay. I'm surprised by
You see,
this.
women, for intimacy, for them, it's all this. You begin to think, now we have something. Now we are together. I've given my... No. You don't know what makes it special. Some men is just a scratching toe. It's a toe to scratch themselves. And they rub their mouth and go.
And go.
They brought a discussion recently on the radio saying why brothels at Airbnb, these rooms are full daytime, lunch hour.
Yeah.
People are going to do the immoral brothel business, lunch hour. Married people who have lives at home.
Yeah.
Are sneaking somewhere to do something hurriedly.
Yes.
There's nothing special with a man sleeping. You're just available and cheap and stupid. Think you're special. Remember mattress?
Yes.
Ask boys in the boys school chronicles and the dormitories.
No.
After boys have been with girls and their emotions have been excited, they keep soliciting for hug. There's a boy who was delaying our school bus. We can't see him. And the teacher wants to leave. The teacher is very frustrated. He's moving around looking for girls. Then he found that he had just finished negotiating for a hug. And he was about to be hugged. And he was closing his eyes just to go for the treat. And the teacher whipped. The girl had seen the cane. The guy did not, because now he's in the mood.
Yeah.
He just had a whip. He nearly whipped a cane. Men who spend with a girl the whole day soliciting for a hug.
It's true.
A guy will chat with a girl who's in Mombasa and he will travel all the way. Some guys fly to Dubai. People board aircraft to go to Dubai. Now you think you're special.
Yes.
Somebody lied to women. You did not know that it's your dignity that makes sex special. The girls who give themselves for 200, 300 shillings are used at the same price. So if you're find yourself for free, you're not married, you just think we have something, at least he loves me, I love him, baby. My friend, this living without marriage, you think you're special, you're just available.
Wow.
And without you, he was going to use anything. Anything. Panga soap.
Yes.
My friend.
And get an outcome.
Yes. If a woman does not raise the bar on who can access her physically, you end up being the dump site for the cheapest men you thought are any special.
Yeah.
Until you come, by the time you come to realize how men who don't respect themselves behave anyhow. Can you ask those who work in the courts and see how many people have cases for bestiality, sleeping with animals?
Yeah.
Check around how many people are molesting children whose organs are not even grown.
Yeah. So traumatizing. And weird to even think about.
Just learn to know that the woman who sets the bar is the one who invites princess treatment, who says, I will unpack in marriage. When God sealed you with a membrane, he was not being a fool, my friend. There's a message there.
Yes.
There's a message there. Just to tell you, living with a man, you end up paying the price of being faithful, consistent, being there with a man.
Yeah.
And you are not yet married. There is no security. What about the man who's living with a woman like that? When a man is living with a woman like that, you end up building up. This message affects sincere people, both male and female. The loser is always the honest one.
Yeah.
A man who is honestly thinking he has arrived. One called me and I couldn't even carry that kind of a dialogue because he doesn't have basics. Saying this woman has started affairs with a rich man. He's always after her, talk to people, talk to her. I wanted to call her. What? Why are you trying to change her?
Yeah.
If she has chosen to sleep with other men out there, why are you trying to change her?
Yes.
It was pre-25 nonsense anyway. The guy did not have any medulla oblongata for me to engage. If you have not, if your frontal lobe has not matured and you have decided to tear your life apart with the premature intelligences, God himself said, I set before you life and death, and I advise you to choose life. Some of the things I will not force you to choose otherwise. I just hope you have the sensitivity to, it's one life, And if you don't take the season of preparation and season of building, you're surrendering yourself for blind living, hitting your head against the wall, groping in the dark. And that's your choice. Congratulations on it. You choose to learn through the school of hard knocks. That's your choice.
Yes.
Today we have enough information for anybody who tries to do things right. We have enough information. And unfortunately, even the one who created us avails himself to us for us, hopefully, to choose him. Many of us still don't. We don't want to hear about it, we don't want to learn more. We want to say, we want to take the life for ourselves.
Yes.
Just to tell you, you end up paying the price of marriage as a man. You build a woman, you build with her, invest in her, pour your heart, get your children. Gentlemen, getting children with a wrong woman is the worst disaster on earth. You will end up being torn apart by what you love.
Yeah.
You see the children, and they're going to be children for a long time. Nearly all your productive years, you'll be trying to prop them up.
Yes.
If my children need me until they're at least 25, that's about the only time I have for productivity.
Yes. Actually,
that's my entire productive life.
Yes.
It was meant for me to traverse the season with them.
Yes.
Then I hand the baton.
Yeah.
I have a few years of retirement when I'm not hustling. I've raised my children. They are there with their life. I'm with their mother there, hopefully now, us just living empty nest, a slow life, giving our wisdom to the next generation, visiting our grandchildren, and holding them a little bit and returning.
Yes.
Because I've done my babysitting. This is your baby to sit. We are just a baby visitor. You are the babysitter.
Yeah.
Grandparent life. Seeing the succession. That's the hope. But what if you got them with a chaotic person who was tearing apart, counter-parenting, reversing what you're doing, destroying the values you're putting? That's a horror for a man. All gentlemen, you should not cohabitate with a woman because the foundation you're putting is loose. You're going to get children in an environment of torture, and you're going to pay double to raise the children while you're also fighting to raise them, to access them, to teach them, to balance the counter effect. That's the one cost. And the second cost is that you lose track of time, track of your seasons in life. Those years you're with that person, you can't say whether you're married or you're single. You enter a gray area where things are going on and there's no progression. You're growing older, you're getting children, you're investing money, you're investing feelings. Socially, you are getting known as if you are these persons, you are together. You suffer a gray area of where. That's why people begin to force marriage, because they realize they're already known as if they belong together.
Yeah.
They already invested so much. Time is so much gone. I'm no longer that young. So you lose track of seasons and you enter a hypnotic phase where you're not neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But you're so invested in this thing and it has no name. Yes. You can't even fill forms whether you're married. you want
That's
to tick.
True.
You don't know what to tick. Simple things like that.
You don't know if you're Miss or Mrs.
You go to church and you don't belong. Single people over there, married ones over there. Am I single? Am I married?
Actually, yeah.
You don't feel. You feel like a misfit. I don't know why people joke with this. It confuses your spiritual life. There's no religion at all that encourages living adulterous life, just having sex.
Yeah.
Get it? No, not one.
Yes.
You lose your spiritual bearings. Number two, you lose your moral authority to those children. You don't know what to tell them. People, because of money, they say this man is married, he's going to set me up, or And I ask them, what are you going to teach your children? If you think about the example you are setting for your children, you shudder, you fear.
Yes.
Any caring person who is conscious about parenting does not want to set an example for their children. They don't want to see them living. Just to tell you that, you lose a season, you drift away from the path of growth of saying, I wanted marriage, then children, then build investments, then educate children and my partner. You lose that. So that you are with a person who is used to you for nothing.
For free. Yes.
Let me remind you, when you are the brother, a woman who doesn't quite want you or does not have the outfit of a wife, the personality of a wife, who's not cut out like that, who has not packaged herself. Being a wife is sacrificial. It's one of the heaviest duties in life because you really submit yourself to be wife, to be mother, if you are getting children, also to have your dreams to chase, to have a career. It's a lot. That's not something you can just bring a woman because you love her, because she's beautiful, because you conceived.
Yeah.
Don't say that kind of nonsense.
Yes.
We started living together because you got pregnant. The duty of wife is so heavy. It's not biological, just because you got pregnant.
Yes.
No, psychological. You must have the preparedness to undertake the work. It's like saying, I bought that car because I sat on it.
Yeah. Actually,
A purchase. You cannot do major purchases on flimsy reasons.
Yeah.
It changes your life. Marriage is so serious, you can't enter it because you got pregnant.
wow.
Pregnancy is not a mosquito bite. There are other things you did
Yes.
to get to the pregnancy.
Yes.
Take responsibility for that and handle it as a mistake it was. Not a foundation for decisions you have not thought through. So if you want to find people who are in their 30s with children, they were never married but they are kind of divorced, it's because they cohabitated.
Yeah.
They were never married,
They were never married.
they are kind of divorced.
Yes.
That's that's cohabitation.
Yes.
And now they're in a second chapter of life, and the first chapter has no name. They just say baby daddy. So people came up with a name to name them after the children, because you can't say my ex-husband, my ex-wife.
Yes.
And when people even try to tie a string at the end, let's formalize. You're tying a string to something that you've already built to so far. It's very hard to imagine whether this person really was the one you'd have married if you were conscious.
Yeah.
If you stagger into these things of marriage and sex and cohabitation, if you stagger in carelessly, without careful consideration, remember, a weak foundation makes for a very weak future. If you want to build up to 10 stories up, imagine the wind, imagine the gravity, imagine the weight, imagine the longevity, imagine the elements, imagine the weather.
Yes.
Imagine you are building for your life, and now you must dig down for foundation. When you're making a makeshift thing, those people date by popping a balloon. Pop a balloon or find love. Hey, when I look at your face, oh, I don't like that trouser.
Yes.
They don't care about a person's background, their character, who they are healing. And I find that astounding.
Yeah.
It's very trendy.
It is.
People love to watch how we pop balloons. This one, they hooked up.
Yeah.
If they're even shocked, do you have children? Yeah, I have 5. Me, I have 2. I don't know. There is no background, no context,
Yes.
no story, because they just want to hook up. When you are hooking up for fun, that works.
Yeah, they've just met.
And now you're supposed to make decisions.
Yes.
Even a real date, you tell stories. No, Sylvia, a normal human story should take you hours to determine whether you like them.
Yes.
It will be talking for hours until I know who Sylvia is. The journey she has come.
Yeah.
For you to see decisiveness, forethought, independence of mind, healing, evolution, the background of this person's family heritage. What kind of trauma were they given? What kind of emotional well-being were they given? What baggage did they have to deal with? But because we just want looks and superficialities, and I can't believe it, our society loves vanity so much. We think that humans can be flipped, and I think it has come from the dating apps and the culture of just swapping left and right.
Yeah.
We think we can flip humans. I don't want that one. Pop balloon. Give me this one. Human beings?
It's happening.
Ha! It's like a fabric on the shelf.
Yeah.
No. Okay. You? This height or this style. No.
Yeah.
And you? Human beings.
Human beings.
No. I think we are reducing ourselves to human pizzas.
Yeah.
We have stopped being beings.
To items.
How? Suddenly, because it's dramatic to pop a balloon. Yeah, well, I rejected that one. Give me another.
Yeah.
We are not that easily interchangeable.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
Yes.
Don't believe it, please.
Yes.
Do not believe this culture. You are not that easily interchangeable. It's true, we have to choose people we rhyme with, but the choice should come from depth.
Yeah.
There's a place for looks, but it cannot be just because I came with a blue trouser today.
Yeah.
I find it so vain,
Yes.
and people can see it. How? And our children are seeing that. That's how they're going to be selecting humans.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the popping the balloon thing, yeah? And sometimes they judge out of weird things like, you know, you look too serious for life. You're so well dressed. I don't want that.
We no longer show the soul.
Yeah.
We just talk about the shell.
Yeah.
We don't even know about attitudes.
Yes.
We don't know about... If I ever do something like that, because I've been a lot of requests when shall we do a hookup show.
Yeah.
We have considered it, if we ever do a hookup show, it will not be that shallowness.
Yeah.
You should hear a person's story to appreciate the journey and what they have dealt with to get here.
Yes.
You may say this person looks bad. Their mother is suffering cancer. I don't like the way you entered. You don't look happy.
Yeah.
This person is coming from hospital. They are a hero. You should celebrate them that they're showing up for life despite... My friend. These others who are just because they don't care about nobody, about nothing, about them. I could be happy and they should alarm you.
Yeah.
When you realize I'm all this and my family is burning.
Exactly.
That could be the real alarm. There's a place for happiness, but what is the context? I'm just saying humans have context. They have stories.
Yeah.
They have build-up.
Yes.
They have what they dealt with. We grow into this. We don't just pop.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
It's the best question is what Elon Musk asks. I like the interview question. He said, tell me the story of your career and the problems you have solved along the way. That's how you should tell human. Allow people to tell you, my friend. Stop assuming, you know, by the blue dress.
Yes.
You know, tell me your story. Yes, there's a place for chemistry. There's a place for liking this and that. But chemistry is also supervision. After you learn that, you might realize you don't want who the person is. Although you like how they look.
Yes.
Hear the story. You may realize, that's not the vibe I want.
Yeah.
Just to tell you that. If you get carried by this culture that just wants shallowness, just hook up somewhere. You popped the balloons and you hooked up. And what they call love, they don't define it.
Yeah.
Just fun, indulgence, short-term things. With time, you will expire the seasons when you had affinity for people want to build life. Yeah. The season passes because you're just window shopping. Then later on, you're trying to settle when you have nothing for those who want seriousness. Yeah. That's when you say life is unfair, where are the good people? You wasted your prime season tasting every meat. Because you looked like you had demand. With the time, you now look like out of place. It will catch up with you. And I hope it doesn't take you forever to realize in this life, you don't get away with anything. Whatever you plant, you reap it.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. Really interesting perspectives and insights there. And now we've talked about people not practicing delayed gratification. And I like what you've written in this book, that is The Young Visionary, a masterpiece for every pre-25. And there's a chapter, a whole chapter that talks about beware of the culture of smashing and shattered dreams. Yeah, Benjamin Zulu doesn't want to keep solving issues of the pre-25s because they are a lot. And he's written books for the pre-25s that you can get on www.benjaminzuluglobal.com. It's a book that you don't want to miss. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.
There are conversations that shape how we live. Conversations that help us navigate challenges of life. Conversations that bring out the best in us. This is where we gather to help each other find a way and unleash our potential. Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Global.